With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, these Performance Motorsports Truck Series drivers head off into the Desert Sun right here at ISM Raceway for the Crown Jewel 153. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. Championship night for Swift Motorsports. As always, Darkside Dave in the cave bringing you all the calls from the track side here tonight. Looks like qualifying already underway, so we'll go ahead and bring you that information to the left hand side of your screen. John McMillan Jr. sitting top of the speed charts. Remember McMillan snatching the championship last night right here at ISM Raceway. Not in the fight for it tonight, but can Todd Cray on the drive for 5 sweep the chase races and sweep his way into victory lane once again here tonight and snatch away that season championship? We'll have to see how it all unfolds right at about 2.5 minutes into tonight's 5-minute qualifying session. Drivers, about half of them already out there with their time lapse here tonight. Track going to begin to cool off just a little bit as this sun begins to set. Lights will come on at Pheonix and we will race to the end under the lights here tonight. Todd Cray once again top of the speed charts. Quick time 28:57 for Cray. So that familiar 21 fast once again. Cream rising to the top. There you can see those drivers listed in that turn 3 arch. Those are your 4 championship drivers coming into tonight. And with this pole, if it stays this way, Todd Cray will secure that championship with that point right there. We'll have to wait still a few more drivers yet to go out for their qualifying lap. So we'll see if anybody can knock Cray off of that top spot on the speed chart here tonight. Cray was one of the fastest 3 drivers in happy hour, so that speed translating over right into qualifying. He'll try to replicate that tonight in the race. Brian Hitz still out there on track, 29:46 for Hitz. He's well more than a second off of the pace with his time lap. Lee Staples, Jason Harrison, Gary Wells, and Nick Hunt still yet to put in their qualifying laps. Big night last night in the Ayers Eye Racing Paint Orca Menard Series. We've seen a newcomer, a rookie here in Swift Motorsports, secure his championship run as well as his 7th win on, I apologize. John Jr. not going to victory lane, walking away this season, though, with 6 race wins, 4 in a row before last night. Jason Harrison was hot on the trail over there, but did not quite pan out for him. Excuse me, my goodness, sorry about that. Do apologize. Jason Branch securing that win last night. First time Branch was able to get to victory lane this season, and well done, well-deserved job by him. And with all that being said, qualifying done and in the books. Your pole sitter for tonight and snatching and securing his championship, that is that 21 of Todd Cray. So we're going to break away for just a brief moment, head down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We will be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the racket's regular
Jets flying over as the drivers begin to roll through a pre-race inspection. Looks like we've got a handful of trucks out there. Rest of the field still making their way through the inspection line. We'll go ahead and get things ready for you here. Let's go ahead and start off by running down those championship 4 drivers. Todd Cray, Caden Atkins right there in 3rd tonight. Alan Young, Jim Thorndike right there back in 6th. We'll get to all that in just a moment, but Todd Cray came into tonight with a 21-point advantage, and with the field size in that pole position here tonight, Todd Cray has secured his championship here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. So the night coming, culmination of the season coming to a head early here tonight from ISM Raceway. Still going to be a big-time battle for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot. Very close battle between Atkins, Thorndike, and Young. And how about Jason Ayerson, Brian Hitz? They're right there battling with each other for 5th and 6th in the championship standings. Nick Hunt and Lee Staples also embroiled in a little battle as we come to a close here in season number 2 tonight. Final race for these drivers to go out there and try to snatch a few points, try to snatch a win away. Can somebody keep Cray from getting? And for some reason, the cameraman wanted to hide behind the pit stalls. All right. Can somebody keep Cray from securing that 5th win in a row and sweeping these championship chase races? We'll have to wait to see if somebody's able to do that or not. Very long night for drivers to get that done. And there you hear those familiar bells in the background. It's time to run down tonight's starting a lineup in the championship race here in Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series. The Crown Jewel 153 starting lineup looks a little something like this. Top of the speed charts inside row number 1, pole position, the 21 of Todd Cray. Lining up just to his outside, Little John McMillan Jr., Ayers iRacing Paints Orca Menard Series Season number 2 champion, gonna slot in that 2nd starting position. Caden Atkins right there in 3rd. Alan Young, another championship driver, sitting right there in 4th. Rolling off the starting grid here tonight inside row number 3, Sebastian in the 59 of Jim Thorndike going to line up just behind him. Thorndike is your last championship driver in the field here tonight. John McMillan Sr., Big Mac in the 75, going to line up in that 7th starting position. 8th spot goes to Stephen Ayers Jr. in the 62. 22 of Brian Hitz will line up in 9th. Ron Schutte with a rough go here last night. We'll see if he has a better night here tonight at ISM Raceway. He'll round out your top 10. 11th spot goes to David Cameron, and it looks like we have a few admins and officials mixed up in the running order here, so we'll run down. Lee Staples will start in 12th. 13th spot will go to Jason Ayerson. Big shout out to the racemen, admins, race control and officials up there tonight. Justin Gann, Gary Wells, Nick Hunt joining them here tonight as we get set to fire it off. Pace truck down and away. They hit the restart line and green flag flies for the first time here tonight from ISM Raceway. Gonna be a night full of fireworks. I'm sure the Ayers iRacing Paints Orca Menard Series had a great race last night. This race has that open dog leg. Remember, it was cut off last night. Look for drivers to make up some time down there on the apron. Still nose to tail, not a lot of passes just yet. Ron Schutte gonna make a pass for the 8th spot. He'll get by John McMillan Sr. in that 75 machine. There you can see the 21 going to the bottom of the race. Ray already beginning to step away, 0.3 of a second advantage as we begin the lap number 3. Katie Nackings right there in second. Third place, Alan Young. So Cream rising to the top indeed. Here tonight, your top 3 all championship chase drivers. Jim Thorndike back there in the 5th position. Oh, a little bit of downshift it sounded like there for Cray. Is he downshifting? We're going to have to go back to an onboard camera here a little bit later on in tonight's race. See if we can't catch that 21 shifting from 4th to 3rd back in turn number 3. We will jump around the track just a little bit back to this battle here with Brian Hitz, Ron Schutte, Lee Staples, Jason Ayerson right there in the mix as well. The 44 is going to take a spot away from Brian Hitz and has hit that outside wall. Let's take a look at this 22. He is struggling quite heavily. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the right side of that truck just yet, but he is well off the base. He was about 2 seconds slower that last time by than your race leader, so giving up big ground early here tonight is Brian Hitz in his Ford F-150. Back to a battle a little bit further in front of Hitz. Back to this one right here. We've got Stephen Ayers Jr. battling with John McMillan Sr., Lee Staples, and Jason Ayerson. Here comes Brian Hitz with a run back on Schutte. Schutte had a little bit of trouble. Drivers getting caught out here left and right very early, slipping and sliding the tail end of these trucks around this 1 mile. Tricky little track. It's a funny little shape. Not quite a triangle, not quite a D-shaped oval. I'm not quite sure what you call it. But Pheonix always puts on a show and always a tough track to run on. Todd Cray stepping away at the front of the field, 0.7 of a second lead for Cray over Atkins. Atkins beginning to step away from Young. That's about a half a second between those drivers. John McMillan Jr., he's starting to close in just a little bit on Alan Young. Still 1.5 seconds back. That gap was upwards of 2 seconds a handful of laps ago, just about 3 laps ago to be exact. So slowly but surely, Little John making his way up through the field in this 15i Racing sponsored Chevy Silverado. Whoa, drivers with some moments. McMillan, one of those drivers that almost got into that outside wall. You can see the right side of the 15 still pretty clean out there, so didn't quite get into the wall just yet, or not enough to scrape up the right side. Maybe just enough to take the Goodyear yellow off the side of those tires as we continue to watch for some battles on the track. Jump around a little bit if we need to. There you can see that 5 of Lee Staples. He's going to have to deal with Jason Ayerson very soon. Here's Alan Young in that 86 machine. McMillan Jr. closing in on him. That's 3rd and 4th on the track, and not too far off in front of Young is Caden Atkins. There to get a brief glimpse at that 2 machine sitting in the 2nd spot. Precision Designs on the hood once again here for Caden, so he's looking to put that Ford F-150 in victory lane and do all he can to try to, well, you can't try to snatch that championship away anymore. Already with the pole position here tonight, Todd Cray will walk away as the season number 2 champion right here in Performance Motorsports Truck Series. But don't fret, don't worry, race fans. We've still got 2 more great nights of racing right here in Swift Motorsports. Tomorrow night's RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series, then the Hyperdrive Motorsports Cup Series coming to you Thursday night for Swift. So gonna be one heck of a week here at Pheonix. This league, this track, gonna put on one heck of a show for these race fans all week long right here in the desert sun, hot as it gets. Pheonix. Oh, cameraman's not knowing which way to go right now. John McMillan Sr. right there leading Lee Staples. Jason Ayrson right on his rear bumper. We'll take a look back here. Let's see if we can't take a look back. Now, is John McMillan Sr. going to go up the track here? We'll take a look over the left front of the machine as you see Lee Staples duck to the inside. He's going to go ahead and pull that position. Ayrson going to follow through in 3 as well. So 2 drivers going around that quick. Jason Ayrson going to get right there into that second position as we look back now from that 44 as he begins to walk away from that 75. So John Sr. struggling a little bit, trying to find some grip. Late in this run, 15 laps this time by, will go on the board out of the 153 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Do want to give a big shout out to Performance Motorsports for coming on board and being the title sponsor for season number 2 right here in Swift Motorsports. So job well done. Big hats off and tip of the cap to everybody back at the Performance Motorsports headquarters. Look forward to season number 3 coming up in just a handful of weeks. So these drivers are going to see even more of each other. We're going to have a few races here and there in between that, but they are focused in right now on this final night in season number 2, the championship race, the Crown Jewel 153, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Going to continue to watch this battle for just a brief moment. It is your closest battle on the track, although it is outside of your top 5. This is the battle for 7th and 8th on the speedway. Harrison looking to the bottom, looking to make it work. Can that 44 make the pass? He's going to duck down onto the apron this time. That's going to give him just enough. He'll slide up the track and have his preferred entry into turn number 3, and that's going to bring us to this battle a little bit further up through the running order. Battle inside your top 5. Battle for the final podium position here tonight. Alan Young as John McMillan Jr. right behind him. Little John looking to go win a race here tonight to go with the championship trophy that he collected last night in the Ayers iRacing Paint Torque Menards Series. Look for John to be strong once again next year right here on the trucks. He's going to come back, run a season in the trucks, and then take it from there. Had the word right from his mouth last night. So look for that 15 to be heading towards the front of the field here as we begin season number 3 here in just a handful of weeks. Still around this track, though, this man right here, he's been lights out since the chase has started, has walked away with a victory in the first 4 races of this championship chase here in season number 2 for Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Can he make it a 5th win in a row and win all 5 of the chase races? That's going to be a huge accomplishment, and if he can do that, that's going to be 9 out of 15 races that 21 would have went to victory lane in. So look for Cray to try to do the unthinkable and slot his name not just in the history books but in the record books as well for most wins in a season and most wins in a row. And as I say most wins in a row, I'm trying to think over there in the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series. I know John Furness, he went on a tear there, ripped off a bunch of races back-to-back, but I believe he only got 4 of them in a row. I don't believe he was able to get that 5th in a row before somebody took the bounty out on him and went ahead and knocked him off of the top spot. Took a brief moment to look over the hood on that 21 Chevy Silverado Paradise for Pets Infinite Warrior Monster Energy Chevy Silverado. We've seen him at the front of the field. We've seen him step away before, but already now knocking on the door of a 3-second advantage as the field makes their way off of turn number 3. Leader gonna cross the line, complete 23, and start lap number 24 here tonight. So still a very long way to go. If these drivers lose focus, if they have a mishap, it could all be for naught here this evening. I'm gonna tell you what, let's go back to this battle right here. On screen, Jason Harrison, Sebastian Gojan right there. Lee Staples falling off behind these drivers just a little bit. Staples now solidly into that 8th spot, up 6 positions from where he started tonight's race, but still struggling to find some speed. He's 1 second back from that 44, who is looking all over this speedway, trying to find a way around that 84. He's got Jim Thorndike right there in front of him. Thorndike, last driver inside your top 5. Big gap back from John McMillan Jr. to this trio of trucks getting it on here, going down into turn number 1. We've got side by side right there for that fifth position on track. Jim Thorndike struggling now as they're going to try to split him. Harrison looking to the top. No, going to have the door slam shut. That's going to let Seb down on the bottom. He'll open the door just a little bit. Harrison looking to come through. Both of those drivers looking to get around Thorndike, and they'll do so off of turn 3. Put Thorndike down 2 spots, back to 7th now, as Sebastian Gojan right there in that 84 machine tries to step away just a little bit. And after losing a few spots there on the restart earlier, Sebastian in that 84 machine, he's been able to make his way back up into that 5th spot, back into the position he started tonight's race. But the man on the move, the biggest mover right now, or the biggest 2 movers, I should say, Jason Harrison. Lee Staples tucked in right behind him. He's closed that distance down to under 1 second. Now Thorndike, my goodness, that 59 is dropping like a rock. And we have already had the first victim here tonight, the one and only Toyota Tundra driver out there in the field. That 28 of Ron Schutte going to go back behind pit wall. Looks like got a lot of frustrated looks coming from that garage as they begin to push the car out and head to the hauler. Schutte's night gonna come to a close early here from Pheonix. Looking at the lap times right now, looks like about 1 second fall off for your race leader. His fastest lap for Todd Cray was a 28.72 last time by, a 29.79. So the wear is there, the fall off is real. And we'll have to take a look, see if the weather's got anything to do with it, see if this track temperature, air temperature is changing. Not very much at all. So even as this sun begins to set, you can see that beautiful picture off in the background. But as this sun begins to set, track will cool. Drivers should gain a little bit more grip, and we should see some faster lap times throughout tonight's race. fastest driver that last time by, once again by over 0.2 of a second, was your race leader, Todd Cray. So he has got this field in check here tonight. Cray did not come to play. He is on his way to the championship celebration, trying to cap the night off with the race win. He's going to put the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. down one lap now. So 2 out of your 3 Ford F-150 drivers now being scored down one lap. Going to run through your top 5 as they are on the track. There you can see your race leader, your pole sitter, your championship leader in securing that top spot on the championship. He's going to go ahead and snatch and collect season number 2 championship right here tonight in the Crown Jewel 153. So Cray will walk away tonight as a champion. Fast driver that has been chasing after that championship all season long, and especially during this chase having some great runs. That too of Caden Atkins came into tonight's race just 21 points back of Cray, and it's kind of hard to overcome those race win bonus points as we've got a pass for second. Atkins going to go back to third, and that's going to put Alan Young, the Dalton, New Hampshire driver, sitting inside that 86 machine down on the inside lane. He'll take that second spot away, put Atkins back into third. And Young, also one of those championship drivers, he had to fight his way to get into the second round of the playoffs, but since then has had some great consistent runs. And Atkins way up the track. That's going to open the door for the 15 of John McMillan Jr., now running into the third spot as Atkins falls back to fourth. Your Ayers iRacing Paints Orca Menard Series season number 2 championship winner right there inside of that 15 machine. He looks to spoil the show here tonight. Looks to see if he can't put an end to the run that Todd Cray is having. Put a stop to that drive for 5. We'll take a look back here in the 15th position. Carleton, Michigan's very own Dragon's Garden and Pure Ink sponsored 44 of Jason Ayrson. Back up to one of the closest battles on the track. Wrong McMillan right there to go to. We'll fix it. There you have it right there on screen. 3 truck battle, although one of them is struggling a little bit. That Ford F-150 of Caden Atkins looks like he's losing a little bit more speed than the drivers that he is around. And for the first time here tonight, somebody turned in a faster time than Todd Cray. Alan Young able to take that second spot about 3 to 4 laps ago. John McMillan Jr. able to slot himself up into a podium spot as the 2 has had enough. He's brought it to pit road. 40 laps, I should say, into his run. He's going to go ahead and peel off for pit road. The 84 going to do so as well. Todd Cray now has a 4-second race advantage over Alan Young. John McMillan Jr. right there in tow. Just about 3/10 off of the bumper of that 86. So when does Cray pit? Well, right now, that's when. And John Jr. going to break off. Alan Young going to stay out on track for the first time here tonight. New race leader in the Crown Jewel 153 right here for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Jason Ayrson, Lee Staples going to come down pit road this time by. Thorndike Looks like he's going to go ahead and bring... No, Thorndike going to stay out. Here comes Alan Young to pit road. Will Thorndike get back around before anybody passes him? And it does look like he's going to cut the apron just a little bit, come down into turn number 3. Will he make that stop this time by, or will he stay out on the track? Looks like he's going to break for pit road late, a little bit later on the entry to pit road there for Jim Thorndike, trying to make up all the ground that he can. Right now, John McMillan, senior in the 75, new race leader. That's going to give us our 4th different race leader of the night with just 4 lead changes. Well, that would be well, it depends on how you score it. If it's not at the line, then technically it's not a new race leader. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Moving on. 75 going to extend this fuel run. He's going to continue out on the track, begin lap number 44 out of the 153 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And I'm not quite sure of this strategy for a lot of these truck drivers out there tonight. These Performance Motorsports drivers, they're going to have to make at least 2 more stops from here, judging off of what I'm seeing. It looks like everybody started to come down right around 40 laps on a tank of fuel. John McMillan Sr. going to extend this run right here. That's going to make it at least 45 laps on fuel. But even if you double that, he's only going to get to lap 90, and that's still not enough to make it to the end. So he'll have to stop at least one more time after that, maybe even just for a splash and right sides. But driver's going to have to make a total of 3 pit stops before we see the end of tonight's race. Already making his way back up to your race leader. Battle for that top spot. Todd Cray going to take the lead back. 5th different lead change as Cray reassumes the race lead. John McMillan Sr. going to peel off for pit road, so we'll rejoin the race back at the front with your race leader, Todd Cray. 4.3 second gap back to John McMillan Jr. now running in second. Caden Atkins able to jump Alan Young, but he doesn't have very much of a lead over Young right now. That 86 looks like he's a tick quicker and does have 2 lap fresher tires. Todd Cray looks to put Jim Thorndike back off of the lead lap, and Thorndike has had some trouble. You can see that right front beaten in just a little bit. We're going to go back to this battle, though, race fans. Here you can see Caden Atkins. He's got John McMillan Jr. just about 0.6 of a second in front of him, and Alan Young about that same gap back behind him. There you can see that 86 creep into the picture. We'll stay right here with this 3 truck battle late in the goings here as we begin our run down to lap number 49 as the leader crossed the line that time by. Clean and green all race long here for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. So if you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up. Some of these drivers shifting. You could hear it that time through the corner as we were on board with Caden Atkins. You can hear him going through the gears and messing with that fuel with the throttle mapping. Lee Staples with a battle. He's trying to take a spot away from the 84 Sebastian. That's a battle for the 6th and 7th spots on the raceway here tonight. Lap 51 now on the board. out of the 153 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. These drivers putting down some scorching, blazing fast laps here tonight, in fastest lap of the race going right now to Todd Cray, 28:72. Quick time during the race, last time by a 29:31. So already just 10 laps into the road, those tires beginning to struggle, beginning to drop pace as we watch Jim Thorndike try to keep himself on the lead lap, struggling right now to do so. Surprisingly being able to keep himself out in front of Cray right now. And maybe Todd Cray doing a little bit of a fuel saving here. He's got himself a 4-second advantage, so he's given up about 3/10 on the track already during this 10-lap little run that he has been out there on the fresh tires. He's got some time to give. He's got some time to play with. So why not try to save a little fuel over the course of this run, extend it all out, and maybe just come down for a splash at the end of tonight's race, should we stay green flag racing. But that all will change if we get one of those pesky caution flags. So we'll have to watch and see how everything goes here tonight. But right now, Cray with this field in check. This is your closest battle on track as Sebastian was trying to get his way back up to Lee Staples and take that 6th spot away. John McMillan Jr. now still running in that 2nd spot. Alan Young about 1.2 seconds back as your race leader Todd Cray still struggles to try to put Jim Thorndike a lap down. Thorndike is actually stepping away right now. On board over the hood camera shot right here with that 15 of John McMillan Jr. And I tell you what, why don't we go around the track to some of our turn 3 onboard cameras. There you can see gyro cam on the screen for you right here on board with John McMillan Jr. Jason Ayerson also carrying one of the gyro cams for us here tonight. Multiple drivers carrying multiple different cameras out there for us tonight. Alan Young with another camera on the car for us. We'll take a look over here at this one from the roll bar. Up over the top of the car, nose of the car now, and back on that gearbox, looking at that 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Ford F-150. That Ayers Racing team member having a little bit of trouble here tonight, a little bit of a struggle for that 62. He's being shown first driver 2 laps down outside of your top 10. Go high above the speedway here with our spotter stand. We do have a camera up there in the mix of all these spotters. We cannot bring you very good audio up from there because you never know what these drivers and their spotters are talking about, what goes down on the radio, and well, radioactive just doesn't do it justice. So yeah, we don't need any problems with the FCC or anything like that. We're gonna keep it clean here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, just like these drivers, keeping it clean out there tonight. All 60 laps on the board have been green flag racing laps. Todd Cray still enjoys a 3.7 second advantage. David Cameron in the 10, going to break away for pit road for what may be his second stop. Is he going to go ahead and short pit this thing now? Surprised none of these drivers have tried that strategy. I mean, there's nothing to lose. It's all on the line for the race win here tonight. Todd Cray now with 62 laps led. He's almost secured the most laps led points, and that's just going to further his dominance here late in the going. Right when the chase started, that is when this driver truly peaked here this season, and he has been on a tear, looking to go for 5 straight here tonight and cap it all off with the championship to boot. Ken Cray keep that speed inside that 21 Silverado. Todd Cray able to close in on the back of Jim Thorndike once again, but once he gets there, he's not been able to get around Thorndike just yet. And, well, I don't want to call him Ryan Newman, but somewhat the Ryan Newman here in Swift Motorsports. Very, very tough driver to get around. Doesn't matter whether it's for a spot inside the podium, a spot on track, or if it's just trying to get by him at all. Thorndike, a racer's racer. He's going to make you earn it. And a lot of drivers respect that. Some drivers get a little annoyed at that. But there again, you're a race car driver. You're out there to get everything you can each and every lap. And right now, Todd Cray not able to put Thorndike back off of that lead lap. We won't let your race leader still steal all of the TV time here tonight. We will jump around just a little bit, highlight a few of the drivers out there running. Some of these drivers not running in that championship for, but had some very good seasons going for them, falling just short in the championship run. Lee Staples in that 5 with a good season all season long here in Performance Motorsports Truck Series. And Staples runs just outside of your top 5 right now in that 6th position, but he's got about 10 seconds to make up. So look for Staples to try to find some speed somehow, some way. David Cameron with some big issues. He's still back behind pit wall, still beating and banging. I think I seen the Sawzall come out down there from the garage box. So some big time damage for Cameron as he continues to try to fix that Chevy Silverado. The 10 machine with some trouble here tonight. Looks like Pheonix collected its second driver. I tell you what, we're going to jump back to this little battle that's beginning to develop right here. Battle for second on the speedway. John McMillan Jr. has it, but here comes Alan Young. Just 1 lap fresher tires, but it's all a matter of how you use those tires over the course of the run. And it looks like Alan Young saving just a little bit for the end of his run. He was last on to pit road back at lap number 42, so he can go at least another 10 laps or so. All these drivers going to put in at least 10 more laps. Some of them may be a little bit longer. The longest run out there was by John McMillan, a senior, 46 laps before he came to pit road, and that's going to be at lap number 91 that he'd have to come back down. So going to be very close to making it, but still going to have to stop for a little bit more fuel. And as we watch this battle and we begin to click off the laps to inch closer and closer to the halfway point here tonight in the Crown Jewel 153 for Performance Motorsports. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding through to say hey, or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family, even sponsor, tuning in week and week out. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us all season long. We do appreciate it. These drivers appreciate it. Show them a little love and toss them a thumbs up. Todd Cray's lead beginning to diminish, only now 3 seconds, so he's lost 1.5 seconds over the course of this run of that gap that he was able to build before that first green flag pit stop. So the distance closing, but is Cray saving? That is the question, and it looks like lap times, as far as the last lap is concerned, lap times right there with each other, although Cray is the slowest of your top three. We've got this battle right here on screen. All over that rear deck lid right now. Alan Young looks to take second away from Little John McMillan Jr. Battle side by side now for the second spot. Young looks to the bottom. He's going to look to slide up. Not going to clear. Side by side drag race down the front stretch for that second spot. Edge going to go to that 15 on the outside getting into turn one. But here comes that 86 firing back again. Look for him to go to the apron this time. There you see it. He's going to go ahead and drop down there. John McMillan Jr. going to do so as well. They'll stay side by side entering three. Is it enough to slide up? Can he pull it off? And Alan Young gonna take over that second spot. Look for a crafty crossover move. Not gonna happen. He's gonna shut the door. John McMillan Jr. gonna be slotted back into that third position. And as we speak of the driver running in that third spot, I tell you what, we're gonna break away for just a brief commercial break, bringing some highlights of last night. Let you see your championship driver from last night. So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. You won't miss any of the action as we go swift side by side. And back trackside as Alan Young going to come to pit road after Todd Cray brings his machine down pit road as well. So green flag pit stops underway. Jim Thorndike going to stay out on the track. Thorndike being listed in the third position right now. And there you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, as we've said multiple times here tonight, snatching that Season 2 championship in the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Orca Menard Series right here in Swift Motorsports, right here from ISM Raceway last night. John McMillan Jr. slots his name in the record books, and he's going to look to capture a championship next season, season number 3, right here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. But first, we've got to decide the championship here tonight. And, well, we've almost done so. Man, sitting in second right now, just 1 second back from Todd Cray. From Thorndike is Todd Cray, and there you can see Cray going by. He's going to reassume the race lead once again. I believe that is our 7th different lead change between the same race leaders. So just 4 different leaders of the race with about 7 different lead changes. Looks like Todd Cray gonna have this one in the bag, but John McMillan Jr., look at that, 3 laps sooner to pit road. He made up a ton of ground. He's got that gap down to under 1 second. And able to utilize the short pit there was John McMillan Jr. He's now 1 second back. Those tires much fresher for those first 3-4 laps, and that gained him a ton of time on the speedway. But now those tires going to be just as old as this run continues on, and we can already see those difference of tires coming into play just about 4 laps after Todd Cray has hit pit road. He steps that lead out now to 1.3 seconds and climbing. Lee Staples scored as the last driver on the lead lap. Scratch that. He's going to be listed as the first driver off of the lead lap. First driver 1 lap down here tonight in the field. Lee Staples falls back 1 lap in that 6th position. Quick house cleaning here tonight. 13 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got 11 of them out there on the track with just 5 remaining on the lead lap as Todd Cray makes his way through turn number 1. Going to begin lap number 89. Still quite a ways to go here tonight in the Crown Jewel 150, but drivers creeping up on that 100 lap mark. That's a very long green flag run. We have seen very long green flag runs right here on ISM Raceway last night. Only 1 caution in the season finale for the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Orca Menard Series, and these drivers are doing the same thing. What a show. I mean, clean and green for 90 laps around a 1-mile tricky track like this one right here. Pheonix Raceway, ISM Raceway, whichever one you want to call it. I'm still a little old school, and I still like to call it Pheonix Raceway because, well, that's just what it is. And are we seeing a bar being set? Are we seeing a tone being set out of all of these drivers that have been on track so far in the 2 nights of championship racing that we've had right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network? 1 caution the first night, no cautions here tonight. Will we see this standard set? Will the RB Rigs Custom Computers Xfinity Series drivers be able to do the same? We'll have to wait and see. Sebastian with some trouble. He's going to jump back behind pit wall. Looks like that 84 has had some trouble, and out of tonight's race. Looked like they got the hood up A little bit of oil trailing behind the truck as they push it back behind and into the garage stall. No real battles to bring you here tonight, so we'll just walk down through a little bit of the drivers as they run on board camera shy. There you can see Paradise for Pets sitting on top of the hood as always for that 21 of Todd Gray. John McMillan Jr. sitting back in the second spot. Gray right there in first. John McMillan Jr. sitting back here in second. Driver running third here tonight in the championship race, the Crown Jewel 153 for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, the 29-year-old Dalton, New Hampshire native Alan Young with a solid championship finish. Caden Atkins in the 2 Ford F-150 sitting right here. Back in that fourth position. He's got himself about 4 seconds to make up to try to break in to those podium spots. Can the 2 make up some ground, and can he make a charge late in the race? Jason Ayerson in that 44 machine. There you can see that Pure Ink Dragons Garden sponsored 44 machine making his way around this track down through the dog leg and towards turn number 3. Big gap back to this man right here running in the 6th position. Lee Staples, 16 seconds back behind Ayerson, and he's got some ground to make up here tonight, that's for sure. Battle for the driver right behind him on track, not for position. John Jr. looking to get around him, looking to get by Staples right now. Jim Thorndike sitting back in the 7th position right now, being scored 1 lap down. Second driver, 1 lap down. So we'll jump back to the front with the race leader, Tom Gray, as he has opened that gap that was right at about 1 second after the second round of green flag pit stops. It has now reached the 3-second mark, so gaining 2 seconds early in this run. Gray down the pit road back at lap number 83, so just about 15 laps ago is when he made his way down the pit road. John McMillan Jr., first of those top 3 to pit road. He stopped at lap number 80, so 18 laps on the tires for him. And I wonder if any of these drivers are going to pull that strategy move we were talking about. Is anybody going to pull the move to go ahead and come down the pit road once that fuel window opens up? Will we see possibly Alan Young, maybe even John McMillan Jr. go ahead and come down to pit road right around lap number 110 or so? So the fuel window will open back up here very soon. We're going to jump back to this battle on the track. Battle for position. Tucked in behind a back marker right now. Alan Young looks to chase down John McMillan Jr. Lee Staples still running strong, a little off the pace, but you can see him able to keep his 5 truck up in front of John McMillan Jr. and Alan Young right now. Not really in the way, just fast at the wrong spots there for that 15 in the 86. Staples going to drop to the bottom of the speedway on entry to 1 once again. McMillan Jr. going to fall in line right behind him. Here comes Alan Young looking to the bottom of the speedway. Staples goes way high, trying to give these drivers the run. They're still not able to clear side by side. Almost 3 wide through turn 3 for the first time. Both of those lead lap drivers able to make their way by that 5 of Lee Staples. Now Staples in a solid 6th spot. He's got himself quite a gap back to Jim Thorndike for position on the track, but he's got himself quite a gap to overcome to try to make up any spots here tonight as well. Todd Cray stepping out now. 4.5 second advantage for Todd Cray. And I'm telling you, if he didn't have the championship already sewed up, he's doing exactly what he would need to do, and that's dominate tonight's race. He's going to walk away with not just the pole position here tonight, but he's also going to walk away with the most laps led award. Can he sweep the night? Can he sweep the championship races? Looks like right now nobody's got anything for him just yet. 49 laps remaining here tonight from Pheonix Raceway. These drivers putting on quite a run. There you can see Alan Young making his way by that 15 and now slotting himself right around that 22 of Brian hits off of the pace just a little bit, being scored, I believe, 3 laps down now. Second and third going to make their way by. Lee Staples looks to the inside of hits now. Stephen Ayers Jr., another back marker, running the high side through turns 3 and 4. And I believe we're seeing those older tires come into play now. Those 3-lap older tires starting to affect the speed. All inside of that 15 of John McMillan Jr. He's already dropped a half a second back from Alan Young. So those fresh tires fading away. And now they are gone. John Jr. looks for some speed. Will he attempt that undercut? Will he go ahead and come down pit road and get the 4 tires in fuel and trying to be as fast as he can for the end of the race? Or will we see these drivers trying to stretch this final run out? Todd Cray, your race leader, putting multiple drivers down, multiple laps down. He's going to put John McMillan Sr. down yet another lap. McMillan Sr. going to go 3 laps down. And man, it's only a matter of time before Cray begins to put some of these drivers inside of the top 5 off of the lead lap. Jason Ayrson sitting about right at, I believe it was 20 seconds behind your race leader, so just about 5 or 6 seconds out in front of this man right here. We'll begin to see those drivers inside of your top 5 begin to get put 1 lap down. Todd Cray, what a dominating performance here tonight. You can see that race lead scroll across the top of the screen on the ticker. Over 5 seconds now built in to the race lead for Todd Cray. He can stretch this thing on out, take just fuel if he wants for the final. I would say it's going to end up being right around 100 lap 123, 125, somewhere in there when we see Cray come down to pit road. Nobody electing to open up the fuel window just yet. They're going to keep pit road calm. Nobody coming down there just yet. Everybody stays on track. Cray leads Young, McMillan, Atkins, and Ayrson round out your top 5. Back to this little scrum going on behind your race leader, Alan Young. He's been able to get by John McMillan Jr. That was quite some time ago. And now Young stepping out, knocking on the door of building that gap to a 1 second advantage. Young running in second as we watch this 15 of John McMillan Jr. last night walking away with the season championship for the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Orca Menard Series. Gonna be running for the championship right here in Performance Motorsports Truck Series next season, season number 3. Watch out for that man. He is bad fast. Look for John Jr. trying to make his way up through the ranks and try to win a championship along the way. Clicking off the laps here, still at a rather quick pace last time by your race leader, running a 29.87, and that is only about a 29.87, I apologize, 1.1 seconds off of his quick time here tonight. Still the fastest man out there on the track is that 21 of Todd Cray. Alan Young with a 28.85 last time by. John McMillan Jr. fastest out there, 28.77 with the lap, the timing on the lap last time by for that 15. As we watch the 86 of Alan Young, he's going to make his way by the back marker of John McMillan Jr. Stephen Ayers Jr. going to be the first driver to hit pit road for the final time here tonight. Fuel window has opened. Pit road's going to get busy. Nobody in the top 5 coming down pit road just yet, so we'll rejoin your race leader once again at the front of this field. Now just a handful of seconds back from putting Jason Ayerson running in the 5th spot down a lap. There you can see Craig cutting it way low on the apron right there through the dog leg. He'll continue to stay out on track. Will he go ahead and come? No, looks like he is going to stay right out there on track. Nobody in the top 5 making that move to pit road just yet. And you can hear Cray. Cray is changing gears. Let's jump on board. Let's get a little cheap shot right here. Let's cheat a little bit. Down into 3rd right there. Back onto the gas. Squeezing that throttle. Back into 4th. Nice smooth shifts here. Not putting a lot of stress on that transmission. Down into 3rd once again. So indeed, these drivers switching gears 3rd to 4th multiple times per lap. There you can hear him already back into 4th gear. We should hear him go back to 3rd once more right there. Jason Ayerson going to be the first driver to pit road. Ayerson already in his pit box. Caden Atkins going to break off, come to pit road this time by. So drivers in that top 5 indeed trying that undercut, trying to short pit just a little bit. Todd Cray has got himself a handful of laps still in the fuel tank. Will he run it dry, or will he go ahead and play it safe and secure that lead by not allowing anybody the undercut? John McMillan Jr. going to come down to pit road that time by. So just your top 2 on the track have yet to come to pit road. Todd Cray leads Alan Young. And what a line right there by that 21. You can see him with a big wide arc through 3. Catching that yellow line very late, right around pit road entry. Catching that yellow line really late with those left side tires. And that's allowing him to really get the power down really fire off the corner and down the front stretch there. You can see him once again clips that yellow line a little bit, lets it ride back up, but gets that left front right back down to that yellow line on corner exit. Cray, very fast out there tonight. Take notes, drivers, because this man has been dominant in a truck. Cray continuing to stay out on the track. He can go about another 1 or 2 laps here. That will break it right back to another 43 lap run for him. He's going to go ahead and break off, come down pit road this time by. That will put the field in the hands of this man. Oh my gosh, almost a moment there. Alan Young going to go ahead and come down pit road as well. So where will this man shake out? Already getting himself back onto the lead lap. So now 3 drivers on the lead lap. Once again, Caden Atkins, he should get himself back onto the lead lap. Where will Jim Thorndike slot himself back on the track? That's yet to be seen. Down and in his pit box now. The truck goes in the air. The 21 still stopped in the box. We'll let you know when that jack drops. Here comes John McMillan Jr. off of turn 3, down the front stretch, down and away. Todd Cray looks to make his way off of pit road. It's going to be a close one right here. Able to get out in front of that 15, but here comes that head of steam. John McMillan Jr. closing, now down. Oh, and just like that, Todd Cray nails the throttle in that time. Stops shrinking, begins to stabilize a little bit. He's got himself a 2.2 second advantage now, so just about half of that race advantage going away with that final, or what may be the final green flag pit stop of the night. Jim Thorndike in the 59, he's going to go down to pit road. That's going to put Thorndike back off of the lead lap once again as Todd Cray continues his torrent pace at the front of this field. That 21 has been fast since they have unloaded. One of the top 3 fastest drivers in practice. Snatched the pole position here tonight in the Crown Jewel 153 in Performance Motorsports Truck Series, and now he has snatched the most laps led, and with just 25 to go that time by, looks like Cray has got this win in the bag. Jason Ayrson on the pit road 6 laps prior to your race leader, Todd Cray. There you can see that difference that he made up. Now just 16 seconds back from your race leader. And I know what you're saying. Well, Dave, he's still way behind. Yeah, but he was about 4 seconds away from being put down a lap, so he gave himself about a half a track buffer zone now. Ayrson with a fine job keeping himself right there where he needs to be should we have a late race caution. But unless we got some mechanical failure out there, I don't think we're going to see any on-track issues tonight. I believe we'll get this thing flag to flag, clean and green all night long right here from ISM Raceway. That's right, race fans. Night number 2 in the championship week right here for Swift Motorsports. We watched the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Orca Menard Series Championship last night. That being captured by the 15 of John McMillan Jr. running in the second spot here tonight. But the man on screen right here drive for 5. That's right, 5 wins in a row if he can complete it and get the job done here tonight. And that will be all 5 chase races that he clicked off. And that is what has secured season number 2 championship here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series for Todd Cray. He is going to go home a season champion. Will he go home a 9-time winner, or will it remain where it's sat at here coming into tonight's final race back at 8? Laps now remaining for your race leader, Todd Cray. Nobody in front, nobody behind. He's got himself a 3.3 second advantage over the field. Smooth sailing from here on out. Your champion has got an easy Sunday ride right now. Will he be able to complete this deal? Will he be able to walk away with 9 race wins on the season, 5 in a row, all 5 championship races? My gosh, that is, well, I haven't seen anything like that in quite some time. Maybe sometime we'll turn on the camera for you folks here out in TV land to see. Well, I kind of clicked off a little championship like that of myself, one of my 3 back-to-back championship, a little bit of Cale Yarborough imitation here for Dark Side Dave, but nonetheless, you know, I'm not out there on track. I'm not important. That's why I'm in the booth. My skills are old and washed up, but these drivers right here taking the field out to laundry. Todd Cray dominating tonight's Crown Jewel 153. I know that makes one person happy, especially out there in the chat. Jess, how about that? Todd Cray getting the job done. And as the leader will cross the line right here to take just 15 to go, still a very long way for these drivers to go tonight. 15 laps, a lot can happen. We can have a driver hit the wall, caution flag come out. We could see a tire issue. Haven't seen any tires blowing here tonight. Could these drivers possibly have an equipment failure and see a late race caution spoil the show, spoil the night, really, for everybody involved and on board with that 21 of Todd Cray? They have been fast since they got here in the trailer and unloaded. And will tonight's domination be all for naught? Should we get a late race caution? We'll have to wait to see how it all plays out. As Stephen Ayers Jr. goes down yet another lap, that's going to put him 6 laps down. Last driver on the track running back inside your top 10. Last driver in the top 10. So that's 62 Ford F-150 trying to get all it can here tonight. Cray off of turn 1, back through the dog leg. 13 laps now remaining. Going to take a look at this one. This is going to be a battle here very soon. We've seen it before in that second green flag run. We're seeing it here in this third and final green flag run. Going to take a look at this battle that's going to be for second and third on the speedway. Alan Young beginning to reel in John McMillan Jr., that 15, struggling a little bit with 4-lap older tires. Closer and closer, Young inching that 86 right to the rear bumper. Gonna be side by side by the time they exit turn number 3 here. Make their way back down the front stretch. Drag race to the line for that second spot. Advantage gonna go to the 15 for the time being. Young with the preferred position down into turn 1. Looks like McMillan gonna pinch him down just a little bit. He'll pull him on exit. Still battling side by side for second and third on the track. John McMillan Jr. and Alan Young going after it, going after each other here late in the race for those final 2 podium spots. Todd Cray has checked out. Nobody gonna catch that 21. They're gonna need a caution, and they're gonna need a caution quick. Seven laps now to go as the 86 finally makes that bottom side work, finally takes that second position away, but they are now 6 seconds back behind Todd Cray, so I don't think they're going to be able to get there whatsoever without help of a late race caution. Nobody in the field, I believe, is going to have anything for Cray, even with a late race caution, unless maybe somebody stays out and Cray in the front of this field decide to pit, but I don't believe any of these drivers would elect to stay out on track. They're all going to be vying for that race a win. And right now, Jason Ayerson still sitting on the lead lap, back 22 seconds. Just about 4 seconds in front of Todd Cray right now as Cray makes his way across the line. High five. 5 laps to go for your race leader inside that Paradise for Bets Infinite Warrior Monster Energy Chevy Silverado. Cray leads this field, dominating style and fashion, not just tonight, but all chase long. He looks to end the season on a high note, end it with a race win in a 5-race win streak. Todd Cray doing the unthinkable, I would say the impossible, but he's going to pull it off, so it is very possible. And what a run here tonight. I know I've said it multiple times here, but there you can see that 75 of John McMillan Sr. He extended the first fuel run that we had on the first green flag run and had the lead for a handful of laps. And here we see him now being put down a 4th lap on the night. No issues or problems on the pit road for John McMillan Sr. Just that is how lightning fast your race leader is right there. Todd Cray popsicle sticks last time by. So just 2 laps remaining for these drivers here tonight from Pheonix Raceway in the championship race. The crown jewel, 153, Todd Cray gonna come off of turn 3, cross the line, white flag, final lap here tonight from Pheonix. Todd Cray gonna wrap this one up with the 5th win in a row, the 9th on the year. What a season it has been. What a pleasure it has been to watch this driver do what he's been able to do over the course of these last 5 championship chase races, winning all 5 of them. Checkered flag captured in the bag. Your race winner, the 21 of Todd Cray. Alan Young going to walk away in second. John McMillan Jr. finishing the podium. Drivers back in the 3rd spot. And as Cray begins to soak it all in as the news hits him, you're not just the race winner, you are the Season 2 champion. Fireworks going to go off in the background. This man going to get a little bit of celebration on. We'll throw a little smaller driver graphic up for you right there on the side of your screen. Race winner, your Season 2 champion right here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series, that 21 of Todd Cray. Smoke show burning it down, and we're going to step away for a brief commercial break, get things ready to go for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be, well, right back. back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Crown Jewel 153, the final race in the chase here in season number 2 for the Performance Motorsports drivers. Let's see if we can catch in and have a few words with a driver finishing in the third and a final podium spot here tonight. We talked to him last with the championship win last night. And talking to him first here tonight in third place, John McMillan Jr. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you, Dave.
Hey, bud, how you doing? How you feeling after a solid podium run here tonight?
It was pretty good. It was a fun race there. Me and Alan Young had a good battle all race. Basically stayed close together. Really fun at the end there. He's super clean driver. Good racing with him.
Well, John, you mentioned to us last night you're going to focus on the trucks primarily next season. Does a solid run like this here at the end of season number 2 get you kind of your confidence level built any more heading into season 3?
Yeah, I would think so. It feels good to at least being somewhat competitive over here in the trucks, and I look forward to next season.
All right, John. Well, we won't keep you around too much longer here. Congratulations on a third place run here tonight, finishing out the season strong. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 15?
I just thank my family and my father, all the drivers here at Swift, and all the admin as well. They do a great job, and thank you as well, Dave.
All right, John. Well, we'll see if we can't catch up with you a little bit later on here in maybe about 2 or 3 weeks when Season 3 begins to kick off.
That sounds great, Dave.
There you go. Final words of the season for John McMillan Jr. inside of that 15 machine. He's going to walk away from the Crown Jewel 153 back in the third position. That's going to bring us to a championship contender walking away from the track here tonight in style, finishing in second at the end of tonight's race. Alan Young, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, bud, how you doing? How you feeling after a solid second place here tonight?
Feeling good. I wish I didn't mess up on my last pit stop, overshot the box, and kind of cost us a lot of time to Todd. So,
Well, Alan, with season number 2 wrapping up here tonight for Performance Motorsports Truck Series, we're going to head off into season 3 here in just a handful of weeks. Give you guys and give you drivers a little bit of breathing time to relax just a little bit and kind of get over things that happened this season. Does walking away in the final race here tonight as one of those championship 4 drivers that made the cutoffs all year long, does it give you any confidence heading into next season, and will we see you back in the truck again?
yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence. I feel like we had a strong regular season. In the postseason, we weren't as strong as we needed to be. But, yeah, I will definitely be back. I actually just sent my registration for next season, so I will be back in the trucks.
All right, my man. Well, it's been a pleasure watching you all season long. Pleasure watching you run here tonight and secure that second place. And we'll look to see if we can't see you back in the championship 4 at the end of season number 3. And we look forward to catching up with you here in just a handful of weeks. But before we let you go, would you like to give any special thanks, shout outs, or love yous?
Yeah, first of all, I got to thank FSM Customs for coming on board this season. Great sponsor. Young Guns Creation, my brother Aiden Young, for coming up with the paints. My mom, my dad, my 2 kiddos, and most of all, LA Sim Sport, John, Lee, Ed, everyone on the team, and Swift Motorsports for putting this on. This is a great league, a lot of green flag runs, and I can't wait for next season.
All right, Alan, my man. Well, again, congratulations here tonight. Congratulations on the great run this season, and we'll catch up with you here in just a handful of weeks.
See you then.
All right, there you have it. Another driver already stated and slotted in, ready to come back for season number 3. That is the 86 of Alan Young walking away in the second spot here tonight, and that's going to lead us to, well, I don't know. I think I may just start calling him Superman. That's going to lead us to the driver inside of that 21 truck, sweeping all 5 championship races, 5 in a row, 9 on the season. Season 2 champion, Todd Gray. Man, I mean, what more you want, man? You want some cookies, milk? What you want?
Nah, we'll take it. We'll take championship. That'll be fine. Yeah, it's a good race there. Yeah, committed a cardinal sin of mine and took some damage early on, which made it a little bit interesting there. I was watching the guys creep up on me, and then we do some pit stops and creep up on me a little bit more. So I had to drive as pretty much as hard as I could, to keep that lead and hope there was no caution. So got a little bit lucky there, and feel good about it.
Well, Todd, just from a champion standpoint or a championship standpoint, where do you go from here? Are you coming back to the trucks, or are you going to focus more on that Xfinity program and maybe even the Cup program next season?
Yeah, we ran the ARCA last year, won the championship, I'm pretty sure. And then this year we concentrate on the truck and run some Xfinity. Had a good week last week there, and getting used to running with the guys. So definitely going to go to Xfinity. Actually, we're going to try to run for a championship in both series next year. I mean, we can put it together and run strong and see what we got for them.
Well, Todd, as we said, coming to you with the post-race interview here, that makes your ninth win, your 5th win in a row. You swept all 5 championship races. You swept the complete event here tonight, fastest in qualifying, most laps led with the race win. Man, I don't think the season ending gets any sweeter, so we're going to let you go and celebrate. But before we let you do, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, boys, Swift Motorsports for putting on the show. I'm happy to have a second championship with those guys. Performance Motorsports, Turn 3 Racing Network, Infinite Hero, cousin Jess, cousin Trixie. She was first on the YouTube here tonight, so that was pretty cool. Dark Side Dave's got to pick it up a little bit, but yeah, that's about it.
We got to get that guy some Red Bull. He needs some wings or something. He's just behind.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've checked it out. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun watching the broadcast, and you're putting on an exciting show for the league, and hope to be back with you next season.
I'll be here as long as you guys will be on the track, that's for sure. And Todd, again, man, congratulations on a great run this season. Congratulations on the championship. We'll look forward to seeing if you can't snatch a win tomorrow night in the Xfinity championship race. But with all that being said, man, enjoy the championship, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later.
Yep, thanks, Dave, and we're gonna go hard tomorrow night and see what we got for him, and have a good time with that. And appreciate everything you guys do.
All right, well, there you have it. That was your race winner, your Season 2 champion right here in Performance Motorsports Truck Series. That 21 of Todd Gray captures the flag once again. And my goodness, race fans, that puts the second series in the books here for season number 2 in Swift Motorsports. Man, what a night of racing it was here from ISM Racing Raceway. What a week it's been for all of these drivers. Man, what a outstanding run here. And it looks like the producer's going ahead and hitting those buttons, so we'll run down your unofficial race results here in the Crown Jewel 153, and on another planet here tonight, all by himself, another zip code. The 21 of Todd Gray snatches that race win and goes home the Performance Motorsports Truck Series Season 2 champion. Alan Young in the 86 going to walk away in second. Third place goes to John McMillan Jr. Second spot to Caden Atkins, rounding out your top 5 here tonight. The 44 of Jason Harrison. Lee Staples going to come home in 6th. 7th place goes to the GTR Simulator 59 machine of Jim Thorndike. John McMillan Sr., Big Mac, walking away from the track 4 laps down, back in the 8th position. Brian Hitz in the 22, walking away in 9th. Sliding home in the 10th position here tonight, Stephen Ayers Jr. Sebastian gonna secure the 11th finishing spot for the 84 crew, while David Cameron walks away from the track in 12th. Ron Schutte, first driver with trouble here tonight. The 28 going to be scored back in the 13th position. Big tip of the cap. Thank you. You're welcome. Salute to all the admins and race officials all season long, not just the ones here tonight, but the ones that have kept these drivers straight on track week in and week out. Big time shout out to Justin Gann, Gary Wells, Nick Hunt up there in the control booth here tonight, making sure these drivers stay straight. They had a little bit of boring of a night, nothing to do for them as we stayed green flag all race long. And if you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you. And with all that being said, race fans, well, it's going to be a new day, new year, new season for these drivers here coming up in a few weeks. So stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.